try and record. So it's an assignment walkthrough. We just walk through it together. Please, this is not a class, so I'm not actually teaching. So we'll go to walk through this together. So I beg you to participate, please. Let's make it interactive. Please, let's make it interactive as much as possible. So the assignment comes like this, and you have your task view. And from our class, we all know that Excel can be divided into, has a workbook. So these are a workbook. Then we have sheets, different sheets, and worksheet. So we can store different version of your data here. So, and in some company, they will use it for maybe January sales, February sales, March sales, blah, blah, blah. They can use it for department, sales department, operation department, HR department, admin department. Just you can use it to do anything that you want. So that's how we capitalize on that to structure our assignment into 3 worksheets. And then we have the task overview here. So from the task overview, uh, now we have 3 data sets. So this an error is 1 to 3. So we have 3 data sets. The main mass data set, the superstore, and the OP transactional data set. And this is what we expect to work on, right? So the main mass data set, the taxes are for each sales representative, complete the missing columns in the data set. So for each sales representative, complete the missing columns in data set. Then is the second task here is identify the lowest commission, highest commission. Ensure all calculations are accurate and properly formatted. So and that is exactly what we're going to do now. So I will not do everything, so I'll be giving you a hint. So I'll be giving you a hint. I'll be asking practical questions. So let's get started. It said that we should calculate for each of the sales commission, or each of the missing value, we should calculate each. Now we have a rep 1 to how many rep we have here? To 20. So each of the sales rep, we have the first quarter, second quarter, down to fourth quarter. So now we have to calculate total commission. So this is very simple, and I expect somebody to tell me how do we calculate this? How do we calculate this? Let's make a practical place. How do we calculate this? How do we calculate this? We have like 6 person in this call. So how do we calculate this, please? So I'll be calling your names. If there's nobody that will volunteer to tell us, I'll be calling your name, and I expect you to help us. If you don't know, just tell us you don't know. I will move on. We are all learning. So we want to calculate the total commission for each rep. So how do you do that? How do you do that? There are 2 ways we can do that. We can use function or we can use formula, right? So from the class we'll be having, we understand that function is like an inbuilt tools that we can simply capitalize and take advantage of. Y function, that one we like, I mean, like Y formula, like we did in school, in secondary school, or be having plenty formula, almighty formula, then we will now be substituting value for you to get answer. But function, it's simple and straightforward. So it does a lot of the work for you. So anyone can use anyone to actually get this. So how do we get the total this thing? How do we get the total commission for each of the 6 reps? Okay, let me call him. Dami, if you are here, can you tell us how do we get the total commission? This class is going to be, it will only take for 30 minutes, so I just want us to participate quickly. Let's get it done with. So Dami, if you are there, can you tell us how do you get the total commission?
Mm, I think it's the sum of column C, column D, and column E.
Thank you very much. The sum of all the quarters will give us total commission for each of the. And like I said, we can use function, and we can use function, or we can use formula. So for the basic, we'll be using a function.
Sorry, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, please. I'm sorry, my network have not been working since, and you have gone far. So I don't know if you can just help me recap on the first how to input those data, because that's where I'm having issue. So
Input those data.
yes, like how to import them and transform them. Yes.
And first, the assignment, when you give you the assignment, the first thing you should do is to download the assignment, then open it like this, right?
Yeah.
So if you, when you
Yeah.
open like this, then you take it step by step. The only assignment one I need and I expect you to import to Power Query is the last one that you do data cleaning. So this one I don't expect you to do all that, just for you to just use your function or formula to calculate all this. I don't know if that is clear. So we have not input anything. So we just
Okay,
get
sir.
started. So we have, from the tax view here, tax view say that we should, for each sales representative, we should complete the missing columns in the data set, which is the min mass data set, the min mass data set here. And this is what we are doing. So we are calculating the total commission. Somebody have already given us the answer. I should sum all this. So you use your function sum, then you double click the sum, then to give you it will open the parentheses for you. It is simple. You can either pick it one by one, like this. We hold your control, pick it one by one, this, and this. Then close your brackets, or even enter direct to give you the answer. Is that sharp? We give you the answer. Is that smart? I mean to say, give you the answer. Or another thing you can do is you can actually say equals to, then you highlight these four of them together, then you press enter. Oh, okay, speed or display. Can do this. Oh, okay. Well, okay, we can use some. Also some. Then we can fill this like this. It should work. That is it. And when you get one thing, once beautiful thing about it says that once you get the first value, you can autofill. When you go to the edge of your of the cell like this, and you carry your mouse toward, if you can see me, this thing, it will turn to a cross sign. You just double click, then it will autofill for you automatically with the formatting, with all the calculations. I know that okay, the next cell here, you are summing this. So Z is that smart for you to do that. Now we are calculating the average commission. So how do you calculate the average commission? What function do we use to calculate the average commission? Need somebody. Oh, I'm not tired recording. Sorry, let me record.
You can use the average function too.
Okay, average function. Yes, so we can use the average function. Okay, it's recording already. So yes, we can use the average function. So we can say equals to the average. When you start typing the first or two letter auto suggestion will bring them for you. So you can just double click on this average, then average, then also can highlight all of them. Then to give you the average for each of this quarter. So this is the average amount. Any question? Any question so far? No question. Okay. Now, total tax. So who can tell us how to calculate this total tax? What do we use to calculate a total tax? Now we have we have tax rate, and we have tax amount. We have total commission. So how do you calculate the tax amount? Should I, should I call your names? Should I call your name? Or you will help us? Who is going to help us? Olamiposi, Olariwanju, please, can you help us? How do we calculate this tax amount? We have tax rate, we have total commission. How do you calculate tax amount? I need you all to participate. This class, we are not going to stay very long. We end the class soon. So let's do a move on. Who else will tell us? Who has not spoken? Austin Hassan, can you hear? Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
I'm here, sir.
All right, so well, what I did was then I had to convert this 8.25 to decimal.
Okay.
So I now said 0.825
Okay.
times
0.825.
the total commission
Okay.
to get the tax amount.
Okay. Let's do that. Says you say do you use function or you use formula? Like do you use sum or you just do it
Okay.
direct?
I just use direct. I just
Okay.
do direct.
Okay, you say you do that you multiply you turn this to
Yeah, 0.825
okay
times
multiply by total commission, right? Do you say total commission? Ephraim, can you hear me? Ephraim, can you hear me? So Ephraim is in Jabo.
yes.
Ephraim is going to Jabode. Same journey. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes. So that is correct. You can use that to give you the answer. But you may not even necessarily have to convert it to decimal point also. You can calculate it directly. To also give you. If you multiply 8.25% by total commission, it also give you the same thing. You can still have the same thing. Have the same thing. If you also say this multiplied this, it will give you the same figure. So anyone you do, you can anywhere, there are plenty road that enter markets according to Yoruba proverb. So you can use anywhere to enter the market. It works for you as far as you know what you are doing. So that is it. That solves that. Then what do we have again? We have net. Oh, okay. Net amount. So somebody quickly tell us how to calculate the next amount, the next net amount, so that we'll move to the next question. Net amount. Austin, are you here? You have not said anything. I called you earlier. How do you calculate net amount? Austin Hassan, please, we are waiting for you.
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here. The net amount should be the sum of the. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you clearly.
That should be the total of everything.
Total of everything, like what? Can you elaborate, please? Just total of you say total of all the commissions.
Total of all the commission, I guess, sir. I'm not too sure.
Okay, all right. Who else will help us out?
Okay, can I chip in too?
Yes, you can.
Okay, to get the net amount, I think what I did was to subtract the total commission minus the tax amount.
Yes, that
to
is.
get the net amount.
Yes, that answers the questions. Yes. That is it. This net amount, we also mean in some terminology can be net profit. That is your total disposable income or total disposable profit. right? So after you have minus your expenditure from your gross profit or gross sales, wherever it is. So it's like if when they are paying you salary and they remove tax, they remove tax, they remove what again, pension and the rest. So the remaining one they give you, that is your net income. That's your net salary. So we're going to deduct uh total commission from the tax amount. And we get it. So this is the disposable or the net amount. So that answered that. So let's move to the next data set, which is the superstore data set. So this data set, the structure of this data, or in business time, it may not be correct or accurate. I don't know if any of you notice it. It may not be accurate, but the
How is
question
the seller? 200 no dey.
200 for where if I'm meeting you, please. So I must say the data point may not be business wise, may not be so accurate, but we want you to familiarize how to use the tools, how to use the function. That's why we set the assignments. As many of you that might see that this is not business, business is not business wise or something like that. So we have to go about it now. They ask us to calculate total profit. Quickly, who can tell us how to calculate the total profit? So maybe I'll just say that because of time. To calculate the total profit, we are going to now we have profit per quantity, right? And we have quantity, right? Now they want us to calculate total profit. We have profit per quantity and we have quantity. That means for each of the quantity now, this item now, product ID, this item now this item now has 5 quantity. So each of the quantity has a profit of 730.31, 760.31, I mean to say. So now for us to calculate total profit now, how do you go about it? Is to multiply this profit per quantity time by the quantity. I don't know
That's fine.
if you get me, right? Is that okay? Is that clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is a profit per quantity. We have it. Then and we have a total of 5 quantity. They will multiply it by 5. Then we get so now we have our total profit. So you can go ahead and autofill it down. Right. So that's why I say that the data set may not be business correct or business wide, because now total profit is that we're having negative profit. We're having negative profit. Who want to do business? Okay, sure. There's some business you will do and you will lose. So I can understand. But as you go forward, you see that okay, the data set may not be in terms of business, it may not be so accurate. But we just want you to know how to use these tools. Now, discount amount. Who can tell us how do you calculate our discount amount? I think this is somehow familiar with the mean mass data set we used earlier. But I want somebody to tell us how do you calculate the discount amount? How do you calculate the discount amount quickly before we end the class? We will not stay very long. I just want you to participate, please. Some person are not saying anything, they are not talking. If I in this class, please, I want you to talk, please. Somebody like Wale Ola has not saying anything. Olamiposi Olarewanju has not saying anything. Dami, have you said anything at all? Don't know. Damilola Owati, you have not also said anything. Please.
Okay, can I say something?
Ephraim, right?
Okay, the discount amount that should be in 10%, which is 10 over 100 times sales.
10 over 100 times 6. Yes. This man, you are mathematically sound, right? Yes. That's how we should do it. But no, one thing about tools is that tools help you to work smarter and faster. That is what tools are helping us. Before they used to do this this mathematics with counting, with the rest, but at times goes on, they introduce a calculator to help us work smarter. Instead of going through that 10 divided by 100, we just simple, like, okay, this count amount is, this is the discount, 10. Then we now multiply it by the sales amount. That is it. So this 244 is the 10% of 2,443. And that's solves it. Because this percentage now was already, the Excel know that this is over 100 already. 10%, anything percent is over 100 already. So it knows that automatically. And that solves that. Net sales, now from our previous, this will also now to calculate this net sales, right? So how do you calculate this net sales?
No.
How do you calculate net sales?
Net sale
Net sales.
is the total sales after the discount has been subtracted.
Thank you. That's nice. This net sales, now remove your discount amount from it. And get net sales. Why is there only Ephraim that is contributor? I need you all to talk now, please. That's why we are holding this class. This is an assignment to walk through. It's not a class that, okay, we believe that. I want you to participate. Let's know where you're having confusion. And these are simple calculations. Please, I will show you now to do. Now, profit margin. Profit margin is, want to know profit margin is, you want to know from each of the sales, how much profit, what is the margin of the profit? Like, what is the distance of the profit? How much profit do we make from the total sales? You know, there are sometimes you can make so many sales, but like your sales amount may be large, may be big. But when you now calculate your profit margin, you consider, these things, there's actually nothing there. It's just noise. You are just activity without, these things. And it can be like that. You can be making, you can have a product, let's say, you can make a sales that the sales is not that much. But when you now compare it to the cost and all the expenses you made on it, you could have, a significant amount of profit, and the margin could be meaningful. But whereas you can be making a lot of sales, for example, now when most of these Black Friday sales, they'll be giving a lot of discount, and people will be rushing. They'll be coming and be buying and be buying and be buying. In your mind, now you are making a lot of sales. But when you now remove the discount, you remove the expenses and everything, you see that there's actually nothing much compared to ordinary day where there's no discount, that you just sell your product on a normal price. Now, even though it's 5 customers, 10 customers you have, when you compare the profit margin to that one of when you have a lot of customers, but you have a lot of discount also, the margin could be different. So that's what profit margin stand for. Now, I want to know, what is the profit margin. To calculate this is we divide our total profit. Is total profit now by total profit by what again? By sales, by net sales, right? Total profit by net sales. Divide your total profit. This is the total profit you have divided by your net sales. Then you have your profit margin. Then the tax said that we should format this, like we should format it to percentage. So you can just make use of this and turn it to percentage. You can see now profit margin, you're having 173% profit margin. That is a whole lot, right? So you can also autofill it down. You can autofill it down. Okay, the autofilling will give us error because we had these places are blank, right? The places are blank. So for it to work, we must also have autofill this one. You can autofill this one, autofill this one. Then it will work automatically. I'm not going to do that. We just leave it. Then the last one is the average sales per unit. Average sales per unit. So how do you calculate average sales per unit? Who is on the call again with me? Who will help us? I want somebody to talk. Somebody that have not said anything. Okay, let me just move on because we want to go and do the data cleaning. There's no time. So let me just let's continue. So average sales quantity is to divide each of these sales by the quantity amount, right? So this is average sales for each. So you can auto-fill down, counterfeit that. So I was expecting somebody to ask me that why do we auto-fill this one down and give us error? I was expecting somebody to ask me that question, but nobody's asked that questions. Well, the reason is that this profit margin is a derived calculation from a calculated column. I don't know if that makes sense. This is a derived calculation from a calculated column. Okay, so these columns we are calculating them. Okay? And this one now, for us to calculate this profit margin now, we are making use of this net sales that we are calculating, and this one and profit margin. So for it to work, we must have this one down and have this one down before all of it to work. So I don't know if that makes sense to anybody. So that is that. So let's go to the data cleaning quickly. Data cleaning. So this is our last task. You said that import the OP blah 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 to Power Query, identify column with null values and note them, replace null values with most frequent or average, and remove duplicate rows. Then finally load and close the data set and ensure the data set is void of missing or null value and no duplicate. So without wasting much time, let's do that quickly. So far, is there any question? Is there any place you are not clear and you want us to talk about again? Okay. So far, is there any question? Okay. No questions. Let's move on. OP transaction. So now, oh, this is blocking my view. What is this? Okay, yeah, it's fine. So now, from our last class, we know how to import data to Power Query, and this is how we do it. So you go to your data on your menu bar, then you click on Get Data. Then you can select from Workbook. Select from Workbook. This system is particularly slow, so you will bear with me. It's hanging, right? Just give me a minute, let it load up. Yes, the class is recorded. Okay, Olapose is on transit. Okay, I understand. Sorry, I'll be calling your name to answer question. I don't know you're on transit. So now we'll go to where we have our data set saved. So I'm going to go to where I saved the data set. Where did I save it? Assignment. Oh, time is running out. So we have less than 5 minutes saved. Okay, 10 minutes. So we have 10 minutes for this class to end. So, and I'm not creating any other link. So let's just do it quickly. Leave me alone, please. Okay, now, I don't know if you all see me how I navigate to where I save my data set. That is pretty easy. So you all know where you have the data set, your file saved. So when you go to data, then go to you select, let me just do it again. You come to get data, then you go to where you save it. Oh, this is good. Okay, now it doesn't take time. Then you navigate to where you have the data set saved or your file saved. Then you click on it and import. I think somebody who was, is it Moyoluwa, was asking this question on the group chat that he has a challenge. So if you are here, I encourage you to pay attention closely. This is still loading, so let's give it a minute. Okay, it's coming up, please. Okay, now it give you something like this. Now, because we select that data set, because we have different data, we have min mass, we have OP, we have superstore. So it suggests that which one do you want to work with? You can select all, but because it's only OP transaction that we want to clean, so we just only select that one, right? We'll select it, and when you select it, so that it will load here for you like this. Then you now click on transform. We'll talk about transform and load the other time. Load is when you don't really need any cleaning, it is fine for you. Then transform, as the name suggests, you want to transform some things, you want to make some adjustment and so on. So we click on transform, then we give it a minute to load. Oh, okay, it's coming up. And now it will load the Power Query interface for you. We say that the Power Query is a powerful place for us to do data cleaning. That is what professionals use for their data cleaning as far as you're working with Excel, right? If you're working with Python, that one different, you can automate your cleaning. And also there's a way to automate your cleaning in Excel also. Well, I'm afraid maybe that is beyond the scope of this class. So you can automate your data cleaning, that all the cleaning that you do for the data set now, you can automate it. So when you bring another data set, it will learn from the pattern, what you use, what you remove, what you corrected. It will do it for you automatically. And that's what we used to, like some company that have monthly sales. You cannot be building dashboard, or you cannot be cleaning data every month, building dashboard every month. So just automate it. So when you bring January sales, for instance, data set, you upload it, automatically it clean it for you, build automatic dashboard for you with Excel. So Excel is that powerful. So, but that may be beyond the scope of this class we are having. More as time goes on, if times permit, we can also touch that, how to use macro and VBA. They call it macro and VBA to do data cleaning and automation in Excel. So we have slightly above 5 minutes for this class to end. So now this our data set is loaded up, and we want to do some cleaning. The task said how to check for null value, duplicate, inconsistent value. So the first thing I expect you to do is that you check which of the column is not relevant to you. You can see that this note is not relevant. Number one, we have a lot of null values, and we do not actually need it for our analysis. We don't need it. And this is where domain knowledge come from. So this is a transactional data set where people, they make withdrawal using whether POS terminal, agent, or web, or USSD, and so on. So this note now, maybe these are the notes that customer put. We don't actually need it. So we can just go ahead and remove this column. You can go ahead and remove the column. That's the first thing I expect you to do. We remove the column, we don't need it. Then we check. Now we are checking for null value, we are checking for duplicate. The next thing I expect you to do is to check for duplicate. Duplicate is when you have a repeated field or repeated value. My internet is unstable. Nigeria with internet value. Okay. So duplicate is when you have duplicate rows or value that appear more than once. That's a duplicate value, and that can affect the quality of your analysis, right? When you have a duplicate row, so that will bring about bias and the rest. So in a data set, there's no two-way. There's only one thing we do about duplicate, is to remove it. Anyway, you see duplicate, you remove it. So now I want to first check if you have duplicates. So what we do that we will select all our column. So you can use just select the first column, then you can hold your shift down, then go to the last column, right? Then unselect it. Now we have select all our data sets. Then you now see here, we are in the home tab. You see where they write keep. You can select now, say keep duplicate. We want to see if they are duplicates. Let it show us. Then we'll select on keep duplicate. Now it shows that we have 8 rows that are duplicates. So if you now tell you that we have 8 rows, that means 4 of them are duplicate value. Because now you show us that okay, they are duplicate, some of them are the same. That's why you show us all of them. So now let's do and see. The first one here we have that the product ID, the transaction ID now end with 68. Let's see if you have another one that ends with 68. Yes, we have one here that ends with 68. So this shows that this is a duplicate value. Then let's check the name. The name is Ibrahim Okafor. I'll say it's Ibrahim Okafor. It is male and it is also male. The age group is 56 plus and it's the same thing, right? So if you check it down, it shows that everything will be the same. So the same thing also, check for another one. This one that end with 15, the last one, we can see the second one end with 15 also. All right. The transaction ID end with 15. Let's check for the name. Folake Ibrahim. The same thing, Folake Ibrahim. Mail, everything. So if you check, you can see that everything is duplicate. So after you have checked that, you cancel this place. You cancel it. So you have checked that you have duplicates. So the next thing for you to do is to select your columns again. Select this one, then go to the last and select the last one. Select the last one. Then you come here. We have remove rows. Then you have an item that tell you to remove duplicates. You choose here. Don't know if you can see it. Remove duplicates. I don't know if I can zoom this. There's remove duplicates. So you click on it and remove the duplicate. So now, before I forgot to tell you that the data set has 100 rows. 100 rows. Now, as you remove the duplicate, we have 96. That means 4 duplicated value has been removed. So that is the second thing I expect you to do. Then the next thing I expect you to do is now check for null values. Where do we have null value? Now, look at the data set now. We can actually, it can give us, each column will give us a preview of what the data set is. Like this one, it has valid, 100 valid. There's no error, empty, 0%, right? If when you check, you actually see the one that actually have duplicate value, a bit null value. So empty mean there's null value. So you can actually use that one to check. That will also guide you on how to do your data cleaning. So now let's check for null value now. You can use this one to filter. So when you see that there's no null value, if there's a null value, it will show here. You will see null. But this one does not have null value. We'll go to transaction date, click that one. We'll go to customer names. So we can see the first thing that shows, the first filter that shows is null. That means we have a null value here. Okay, so we can now unselect or select only the null value. Let's see which one we want that has null value. Then we have the A1 null value that is empty. There's one customer name that is not that will be omitted. Oh, our class is ending in 1 minute. Class is ending in 1 minute. Guys, quickly, should we join another link or you just end it here? Should we join another link or we should end it here? I don't plan to join.
We can just create another link and complete this class.
Okay, any other person? Should we join another link or we just end it here?
Let's join another link.
Okay, I have 2 persons. I need like 2 more people or 4 or 3 more people before the class end. 2 people have spoken. No. Should we join another link or should just end it? Okay, let's say for the sake of those 2 people, we are joining another link. Hold on. Okay, seconds. So the class is ending now. I'll create another link. What it is, I forgot. I'm sorry. So you can see that one start with capital letter A, another start with another start with small letter A, and these are all Abuja. So this cannot be. Now, the external is telling you that okay, you have Abuja with small letter A, you also have Abuja with capital letter A, so which cannot be. So these are the data, part of data cleaning. This exactly is what we call inconsistent value. The value are not consistent with each other, so we have to make it consistent. We also we see Ibadan. Also, Ibadan has one start with capital letter I, another start with small letter I. So who can tell me what else again you notice from this data set, from this value that show here? I need somebody to say this to me. I need somebody.
Lagos, we have one, everything is a capital letter for Lagos, and another one is Lagos, starting with only capital letter. We have the 3 different Port Harcourts.
Oh, that is nice. That is nice. I love that. Thank you very much. You make my evening already. So that is very sharp. Yes, we have PH. We have, like you said, we have Lagos with all uppercase. We have another one with that start with small letter. We also have PH. We have Port Harcourt. One has hyphen, the other one does not have hyphen. So we have to make sure that, okay, this thing they're talking about the same thing. One, you can even see some data, they will tell you, they will write Lagos, some they will write lag, LAG. So you have to know that, okay, these things they are talking about Lagos, they are all talking about Lagos. So you have to make it the same thing. Things like that. And that is why I want you all to take domain knowledge seriously. When you have a deep understanding of domain knowledge, because this one now is very simple, because these are general things, but it can give you a data set, maybe for like a healthcare, for instance, and sometimes they will write they will write abbreviations. So it's for if you have a domain knowledge, you know, okay, this thing they are talking about this thing. You know their terminologies, you know what they use. So an abbreviation, it means like they all means are the same thing, and you use that knowledge to help yourself. So an analyst is not only somebody who know how to use the tools, but somebody who know how to interpret data, who have the domain, who have the domain knowledge, the technical know-how. So that's why it's easier for you to be a good analyst in a field where you are already, where you know already. If you are in a construction, you can go into like a real estate analyst. If you are into banking, you can go into financial analyst. Already, you know their terminology, you know their their do and don't, and all that. So that it will help you to become a better analyst, where you have a better domain knowledge. So now, how do you go about this? Number one, we have to make this data, these things consistent. The first thing we do is the state will select it, then we'll go to transform. This thing is blocking me. Sorry. So we'll click on state, we'll go to transform, and we'll go to format, right? So now, first you can trim. Trim mean that there are some data they will give you. There is a white space. Excel take note of all this, and even all data analytics tools, they take note of all these things, like the white space before and after, right? So that's why all these things are there for you to help you clean it. So you can use trim. Trim means that if there's a white space to the right, to the left, it will clean it for you. So, but I'm not sure this data set has anything like that, but you can just go ahead and use it. So you trim, then go to format again. You can also clean. So, and also now we'll do capital each word. So we want each word to start with a capital letter. So we'll do that. So let's check our data set again. On checking it, you can see that Abuja now has been compressed into one. Ibadan has been compressed into one also. Lagos, the same thing. But now we still have Port Harcourt, we still have PH, Port Harcourt, and also Port Harcourt with hyphen. So that one now we'll go to do replace values. So now we'll decide which one are we going with. Is it the PH? Are we going with PH? Or are we going with Port Harcourt without an hyphen? Or we are going with Port Harcourt with hyphen? Which one are we going with, guys? Which one are we going with? So I need you guys to talk. Let's help ourselves so that we end this class. I don't want to be the only one talking.
Let's go with the Port Harcourt without the hyphen.
Okay. Austin, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Port Harcourt without the hyphen. So we'll just right click and replace values. Then we'll now say Port Harcourt PH. We'll now say Port Harcourt without the hyphen. Should replace it with Port Harcourt. You should replace PH with Port Harcourt. Then we click OK. So that must have been replaced. But we still have the one with hyphen. So we'll do the same thing again. Right click and then replace Port Harcourt with hyphen. Separate hyphen. Then replace it with the one without hyphen. And say OK. Now let's cross check and see if that has been sorted out. Yes, that has been sorted out. But now we still have no value. So I know that I believe that this one is pretty simple. You know how to do this one. you group your states, know which state comes up most. You go to home, click on group by, click OK. Okay, we see that. So now you can now sort by descending. Descending means from the highest to the lowest. And we see that Lagos comes up more with 21. So you can go ahead now and remove and replace that null value with Lagos. Where are we? With Lagos. So I'm not going to do that. So I believe you all know how to do that by now. Somebody is chatting. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. Right. So we'll move on. Then the next one is transaction type. Transaction type. So we also said that we have a an empty value there also. So I'm not to do this. So we know how to do that by now to replace it with the most frequent. So now let's do there's one I want to talk about. Okay, let's do this transaction amount. I believe this is a bit technical. So now we'll be saying the cleaning that we've been doing so far has been somehow the same, replacing the null value with the most frequent, which one comes up most. That's what we have been doing. Now, what are we expected to do in terms of this transaction amount? So are we going to replace it also with the most frequent, or what do we do? I need us to think on this. I need all of you to think on this. If you are hearing me, if you can hear me, please, I need your input. I also need an advice. What do we do? We have a transaction amount. So should we, and we have null value. Let's check for the null value. Let's check for the null value. We have transaction amount and it's null.
I think we should do the average for everything. Average of everything.
Average of all the transaction amounts.
Yes, that's what I think we should do.
Okay, that is beautiful. Who else, again, will give us an opinion? Who else again? Damilola, Dami, Ephraim just joining us. Ephraim, do you get our question? We're asking a question. Oh, he dropped again. So, okay, I don't want to waste our time. Austin said that we should replace with the average of all the transaction amount. Yeah, you are technically correct, but technically that may not be realistic. Why? Because these are not the same thing. We have transaction for different things, right? Let's clear filter. We have transaction amount for airtime. We have for bill payment. We have for purchase. We have for POS. We have for data post. This thing, and these are transactions they do for different things. So if you now replace it now, this will not make sense. You cannot just take an average of all of them. No, it will not make so much sense. So what we do is that we can either, yes, we are correct by looking for average, but the average of what that is where the who is that now? Who they interrupt our class? Who is that? Please unmute yourself if you are not contributing to the class. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself if you are not contributing. If you are not answering a question, mute yourself, please. Okay. So last now, the best thing to do is we can either group this. Oh, God, can I hear? Sorry, I'm looking for that person that is making noise, so I will mute the person. Okay, mute all. Okay, let's go. What is muted now? So now the best thing for us to do is to actually group this transaction amount either by the transaction type. So let's say, okay, every airtime, every amount you spend for airtime, you group them different. For bill payments, different. For data purchase, different. Then from there, they will now take an average of each one of them. They will now check, and when we have null value, which group does it belong to? Let's say for instance, let's just do that practically now. Let's do that practically now. Let's do it. Let's do it practically. I hope people are following me. I hope people are following me. This is a bit technical, and I hope people are following me. Now, let's group this transaction amount. Let's group it by transaction type, where we have airtime, data purchase, and the rest. So now we're going to look for the average. Then we're going to select transaction amount here. So we are grouping the transaction amount by each of the transaction type. Again, we are looking for the average of each transaction amount, for each amount by the transaction type. So that means that we are looking for average for all the airtime they buy. We are looking for the average for all the withdrawal. We are looking for an average for all the POS withdrawal, all the transfer. So that's what we are doing. And we click OK. Now, let's sort by okay, now, we may not need to solve this. Now, so that airtime, the average that they spend on airtime is 12,372. For bill payment is this. For data purchase is this. Now, you will note it down. You will note it down. Then when you note it down, let's say, okay, these are the average for each of them. You can note it down. You can note it down. Then let's check. Let's cancel it again. Let's check which of that transaction amount, which of the transaction ID is it that is empty. So we go to transaction amount, and we'll filter the empty row again. Now empty row. Here we have none. And we can see that it belongs to withdrawal. It is withdrawal that has that empty null for the transaction amount. So now we have grouped and we have sorted by the average for each of the transactional type of the transaction type. Now we know that it is for average. So let's go and sort and group again. It is average that is missing. Average is empty here. The role is average. I want you to know that the role is average. Now let's group again. We say we are grouping by transaction type. We are looking for the average, and this thing is transaction amount. I will group it, and we say okay. Now withdrawal. Okay, now you see that we have issue here. We have issue here. Who can tell me the issue that we are having here? Let me see if you people are following me. What issue do we have here? Looking at this transaction type, we have airtime, we have bill payment, we have data purchase, we have POS, we have withdrawal, we have withdrawal, we have transfer, we have withdrawal, we have transfer again, we have none. So what issue are we having here? Who can tell us the issue we are having here? Who will tell us the issue we are having here? Talk about inconsistent data sets, inconsistent data earlier. So what issue are we having here?
We have a transfer, double
I
transfer.
think
Okay, wait, who said that? Who said we have double transfer here now? Your name, please.
Damilola.
Damlola, thank you. Who again? What do we have again? What issue do we have again?
the withdrawal is not well spelled.
Thank you very much. And that sorts this problem here. Withdrawal is not well.
And there's no.
Yes, and there's none. Thank you. So that's how you have. Thank you all for that key eye for details. Yes, that is wonderful. So now we have to go and work on our transaction type now, and make it everything to be consistent. The first thing we do is let's check First thing we'll do is that, okay, let's transform it and let's make everything uppercase. We'll go to transform, we'll go to format, then we'll make it capitalize each word. Now, I believe that issue of transfer must have sorted out. Yes, transfer has been sorted out. Now, the issue we have now is withdrawal. One is wrongly spelled, another one is correctly spelled. So you notice the spelling. Withdrawal, there's no A. There's no A after W. So we'll now replace it with the correct one. So we'll come here, we'll right click and replace value. So withdrawal, capital letter, withdrawal, we'll replace it with withdrawal. Replace it with withdrawal. So let's check our data set again. And we can see that everything has been well formatted, right? So I purposely leave this null value because I want you guys to do this by yourself. We have elaborate on this on how to solve this issue. This one is not a problem. Check for which of the transaction check for which of the transaction type appears most. Then you replace that null value with it. Replace it with the null value. I mean, replace the null value with it. English. So that is that. So now we are talking about the transaction amount, and when we are talking about grouping each of the transaction amount by each of the transaction type. Then we notice that this transaction amount, the missing values belong to withdrawal. Yes, the missing value belong to withdrawal. If you can see it here, belong to withdrawal. So that means we are going to group them by each of the transaction type, and we note the average amount of the withdrawal. They will now use it to replace this null value. I don't know if anybody understand that. So let's do that practically. So let's group this transaction amount. We'll go to home, go to group by. Oh, time is going. Okay, transaction type. Then we go to select the average and we select the transaction amount in Naira. Then we click OK. Then the one for withdrawal is 16,252.33. So this can be approximated to 0.4. So 16,252.4. 16,252.4. So I want somebody to know that for us. 16,252.4. So now we want to replace this transaction amount. Sorry, where is it? Transaction amount. And select or we look for the null. Oh, we say okay. Time is running. So we'll go to end sum. So now what am I doing? Okay, we replace value the null with how much is it again? The average was how much? I ask somebody to help us note it down. Note it down.
16,252.4.
Thank you very much. 16,252.4. Yes, 16,252.4. And that does that. So the last thing I want us to talk about before we end this class is the last one, which is also a bit technical. The last one. This status. Let's talk about this. This status. So we have field. Let's check. Also, you can see that we have some data inconsistent error here. We have null. After that, we have field, capital letter. We have field or small letter. We have field with capital letter. We have pending. We have success. So we need to transform that quickly. So let's go here. Let's go to transform. As I will be doing, let's transform it. Let's make it capital each words. And let's check again if you still have the error. So that has been sorted out. So now we only have three. We have field, we have pending, we have success, and we have our enemy here, which is the null. And that's what we want to find to solve. So now let's check the null. Check null. You can see that we have null value. So now this is technical. Well, we have failed, we have success, we have pending. So where do we just say this is pending? Do we go and group and say, okay, which one of them comes up most, and just replace it? So whereas you can just whereas a transaction that is successful, you now say because a failed comes out most, let's replace it with failed. Can you see now where analysts comes? You have to think as an analyst. You have to think. That is critical thinking, problem solving. Because now what we could have done, what we have been doing with the rest is that we check which one comes up most. Then we now replace it with the one that comes up most. But now this is a technical part. This transaction now we have failed, we have pending, we have success, and this is money. Now a failed transaction cannot be is different from successful, different from the one that is pending. So where do we classify this null value? And we can see that the transaction amount is 1,000 naira. That is a whole lot, only $1,000, right? And they use POS terminal, and the transaction fee is 0. So now you now have to think and ask yourself, so where did I place this? Which of this column now will actually determine what this belongs to? So because I don't want to ask, the time is running out and I want to end this class. So you can just say that, okay, looking at this, all the column now you can say, okay, look at the transaction fee. This one is the fee, this is the charges when you make withdrawal, when you buy airtime. These are the amount they charge you. And this is also the power of domain analysis. If you don't know your domain analysis, you will not know that, okay, this fee now, this is how much they charge you, the interest or whatever, the commission, the tax they charge you, this is it. So now we have a fee that is 0 naira. So now let's do investigation. Now let's filter and see. Anytime that, let's filter and see all the transaction amount, all the transaction fee, I mean to say, that is 0. Then we now correspond that, relate that to the status. I don't know if anybody is hearing me. I don't know anybody is getting me. So let's filter quickly and let's select 0. This is 0 fee, right? 0 fee. So now on this fee amount, now we have everything 0, 0, 0, 0 here from A to Z, right? Now let's come to status. So now this has tell us that anytime a transaction fee is 0, that means that transaction status is failed. It's failed. This has answered your question first. This is your first assumption. This is your first hypothesis. You can say that, okay, each time a transaction amount is 0, that means that transaction is the fee is 0. That transaction failed, right? Then this is your first hypothesis. This is your first assumption. So let's do another assumption. Let's filter again and see. Now let's filter our sources. Our status to see if a transaction is pending. Do we have 0 as a transaction fee? Now you select only your pending from your status. Now you go to your fee. Now you go to your fee. You can see that there is no appearance of 0 when you are having a pending transaction. From here now you can see there's no 0, right? There's no 0. When you scroll down, there's no 0. So all these ones are pending down, and there is no 0. I don't know if people are hearing me. I don't know if people are following me. There is no 0. Now let's also check for success. So are there a time that you can make a transaction and the status is successful and you still have a 0 transaction fee that they don't charge you anything? Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do the investigation also. You can also see that there is no time that you make a successful transaction that did not charge you. There's no time. All of them, there's a fee attached to it. As far as it is pending or is successful, there's a fee attached to it. So the only cases where you will have a 0 transaction fee is when the transaction failed. Is that correct at all? Does that make sense to anybody? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now we can assume that now we can not, this one is not even an assumption. So we can categorically say that this null value that we have here belong to which type of transaction status? So this no, now if you are hearing all I'll be saying, this belong to which transaction status? Is it successful? Is it pending? Or is it failed? Oh, I'll be talking to my.
Failed.
I'll not be making sense.
Failed.
Yeah.
Failed.
Okay, Damilola say failed. Who again? Who have another opinion? Who again? Rosemary, have you been following on? Olami Posse, I know you say you're on transit. Can you talk or can you just type?
I came in late, but it's failed from what you just described.
Okay, it is failed from what I described. Thank you. Danny, are you following us?
Yes, I'm following.
Okay, what transaction status does this belong to? This non-value now, is it successful? Is it success? Is it pending or is it failed?
Failed.
Okay, failed. And you understand how I do the investigation and find out. And if I give you this data set now, you can do the same thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So, and that is it. So from here, from the investigation we did, you can see that this transaction amount, this no value, it's actually a failed transaction based on our investigation. So we can do replace with no, then with failed, and that sorts it. And that brings us to the end of this class. So that brings us to the end of the class. So any question? Quickly, we are ending in less than 2 minutes. Any question, any clarification, anything that you are not clear about? Any questions? At least if you don't have questions, say no, I don't have questions. Let me know that I will not be talking to myself. Okay, about the assignment. The other group I created, they're only for people that have submitted their first and second assignment. And those people that are not participating, that are not submitting the assignment, maybe because they see that the program is free and they're not taking it seriously. I understand. Nothing free that people take seriously. Understand? So if you're not ready for this program, we can actually drop you. But if you're having challenges, maybe time factor or anything, you can reach out to us. We'll carry you along. We'll help you. Because the aim is actually to train people, not to remove people. So that brings us to the end of this class. Thank you very much for joining. The class is ending in less than 1 minute. So thank you very much. We'll communicate our next class to you. And then we expect you from this class now. We can attempt this assignment and you submit it so that we'll move to the next stage. So thank you very much. Happy to back on
Thank
it.
you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. So there's one thing I want to talk about here. Because we failed to talk about this part before the class ended. So I didn't want to make this video to attach. I hope people can hear me. It's raining here. I hope my voice is audible enough. So what I want to talk about is that we have touched about how to open Power Query, how to import your data sets, and we have done a thorough teaching and elaboration on how to do your data cleaning, transformation, and the rest. So after you have done your data cleaning, you have done your transformation, you have done everything that you need to do. So how do you so after you have done everything that you need to do, you have done your transformation, you have done your cleaning, then how do you load the data set? How do you save it? So this is a technical question that we do not talk about before the class ended. So this is how you do. When you have done with your analysis and everything, I mean your cleaning and transformation. So you come to this place, to your extreme left hand here, you will see close and load, right? Don't click it, right? If you click it, it will choose the option that is there for you. So I encourage you to expand it. So if you expand it, you have two options. You have close and load, then you have close and load to. So this close and load to you can now save this data set to any destination you like in a cloud. it's like a form of a cloud. You will not actually see the data set, you will not see the row and columns. It will save it somewhere for you, but you can actually work on it. That if you want to go further and do analysis and rest. But for the sake of this assignment, please listen. For the sake of this assignment, you are going to use the first option, which is close and load. So what this close and load does is that it will load this data set and save it to the same file name you'll be working with. So it will save, let's just do practical see. So when you close it, then it will save it like this for you. You see, to the same where you say have your min mass, your superstore, and okay, so it will now save it here for you to work with. So I don't know if you understand this. If you use the second option, you will not see this data set, you will not see this column, everything you are saying, you will not see it. It will save somewhere for you in the cloud. But if you use this first option, it will save the data set for you like this. Every cleaning that you have done will be saved like this for you. All the cleaning, everything you have done will be saved like this for you, and you can just go ahead and save again, save properly, rename it with your name, and go ahead now save. Or save. Let me use save as. Sorry, I've saved it before. So you can go ahead, just use save as or whatever it is. Save it to your with your name and everything. Then your assignment is ready for submission. So thank you. I just let me check that one in quickly. Thank you.